Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Julia.
I just saw you sent an email through. Had my original email with edits gone through?
Yes.
Okay, good. So are yours on top of mine? I'm just trying to figure out the order of, I'm just opening it now.
I just went through the original one and
Oh,
just
okay.
I worked like with yours sitting next to me
Oh,
and
great.
then
Okay,
the
good.
original one and kind of marked everything down. I like you can see I went you can't see that. I went through like number one, number two to see
Mm-hmm.
that we covered everything and
Awesome.
all right. We
I
just need
remembered your having said that like they wanted stuff streamlined. So a lot of what I was trying to, or I was trying to like take out some stuff that I thought might be like obvious or, and then also there was stuff, or it was probably clear when you went through it, but that we had like double listed in
exactly. Yep.
communication programs. But it looks like just looking at yours now, like we were on the same page with all that stuff.
Yeah, and I even have a couple more questions of things that we might be able to streamline a little bit more.
Awesome.
Like I've never really been in corporate stuff, so I'm just doing what I think. So it's like some of the questions might be should it be listed in administrative as well as programs or one or the other, and where does it fit properly?
Mm-hmm.
But we can talk about that when we get to that section. I'm going to give Laura just another minute here. Hi, Ed and John.
Hey, hi.
Well, we can get started, and
Hey, what did you think of that garden that
it looks nice.
Diane did a nice job, huh?
Yeah, we got to get some plants in there, but it looks great. All right, let's see. She is our note taker. So Julia, could I impose on you to take some notes?
Sure.
Basically at this moment, if you want to jot down some key notes that we take, and especially if there's any motions made.
Okay.
I don't know that we'll even be having any motions, but Laura's minutes last time I had it, like by the time I ended the meeting, she had them already emailed to me. Like, holy
I know.
crap.
I was going to type them while we do it.
All right, so we'll call this meeting to order at 7:04. If you see her coming in or any additional participants, please let me know if I miss it. We'll start with discussion and changes of the director's job description. So Julia sent one out. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at that. And I took a stab at it as well and just sent one through, but I'm sure, Julia, you said you started looking at it quick. I just sent it a half an hour ago, so you guys might not even got it or had a chance to look at it. So
you're
what?
condensing it down? Is that what you're doing, Lynn? You're condensing
Pardon
it all
me?
down? I see you're condensing everything down. Is that what you're doing?
We're trying. I
Okay.
don't know if you guys have copies of it, of a job description in front of you.
I have 2 or 3. Let me see if I have the latest. Hang on a second. Go ahead. Don't wait for me. Go.
Go off. Sorry, I was going to say, I think if we go off of the one that Lynn sent, just in my initial kind of look at this, I can chime in on stuff that maybe she didn't include that I had included in mine and vice versa, but I think she incorporated a lot of my changes. So we should probably go through hers and then.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay. So if we kind of go through this line by line, one thing that neither Julia or mine has, and I don't know if or where this would fit in, but our fairly newly created mission statement. Should that be in there? Even as under the title, maybe?
When was that mission statement done? I don't know that I'm familiar with it.
2019, maybe, John? Ed, does that sound right?
Yep.
I don't remember.
I feel like that's not a bad thing just to have in like the cover of the town job description or
So you want to put it at the top? Is that what you want to do?
Like, because we kind of usually have that in a little italics thing, and we could put that right under the, it says Town of Kent Park and Recreation Director.
yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I think that we should also put that in the job ad when we get to that. All right, so we didn't change anything, coordinate, promote, supervise. Oh, wait a minute, maybe we did.
I thought that we
You
should
did.
put in there, which I don't know that you got it from mine. I saw in other parks and recs that they also included maintenance of the parks. Well, no, I'm not saying like that their actual job description is that, but it's part of their, it's something they coordinate, promote, supervise, and evaluate. Should certainly fall under our Parks and Rec director, whether they're the one physically going in and doing that, but like it's certainly something they should be tackling, right? Or coordinating.
Yes,
promoting.
yeah. I mean, because if you're looking forward to doing having a subcontractor or somebody from the town, yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and we also have a director. Well, we'll get to the direct reports later, but we included in that. Lynn, will you be the one updating the most recent job description thing?
I'm definitely gonna take notes on the details of what we're talking about. Like, I don't have that maintenance of the park, so I'll add that.
Okay, so you'll update the most recent job. I just
Sure.
wanted to make sure I didn't want to.
You don't have to
If
do
I
both
was
right now.
What'd you say?
You don't have to do both, take minutes and,
Great, that's what I wanted to make sure.
okay, so reports to Park and Rec Commission, direct reports. I think we have all the same things. And Julie, yours did have park maintenance staff, and I added that to ours
Yep.
because, where's the original one? If we decide to hire someone, you know, and that also includes dealing with the public works guys, I would say,
Yes.
if we didn't hire somebody. Full-time salaried position, 40 hours per week, includes some nights and weekends. So this is where some things changed up. Okay. So we both did a lot of the same things where the first line said establishes and posts office hours, including any changes in hours. But then we also have other office things, you know, that are listed separately down below. So I included that establishes and posts office hours, opens and responds to daily mail and email, responds and keeps copies of the correspondence, answers and responds to phone calls, identifies and orders office supplies. Now, again, if you think some of that stuff should be separated out, I was trying to, if it's too long, if,
No, I think it's good to bucket all of that together because some of that stuff I think that I had just taken out because I thought that it was kind of obvious that you, like, I would have assumed that somebody would be responding to the phone calls, but I also am not always familiar with
Can I ask a quick
typical
question?
town hall
Yeah.
job searches.
Can I ask a quick question?
sure, John.
Do we really need our commissioner, I mean, our director to be part of the safety commission for the town of Kent, or
Yeah, let's go line by line. We'll get to that.
Okay, all right, I'm jumping ahead, sorry.
Um, I did not add, but Julia did, assumes management responsibility for all services and activities of park and recreation. And the only reason I think it's a good statement, but I'm wondering if it's duplicating some other information that we have.
I would agree with that. I think that either we could leave that and take out some of the like line by line stuff. But I think that I had included it just thinking like I want it to be clear that for this person, anything Parks and Rec related, they should be either handling it or bringing it to our attention. Like there's
Mhm.
not going to be anything that falls under a Parks and Rec bucket where it's like, well, it wasn't on the list, so I didn't know I should be doing that.
That's why I was not assuming on other things. And
Yeah.
why I put all that stuff in the first one, that same reason. So maybe we hold off on that one and just make sure that it's not already covered somewhere else.
Yeah,
And we
Ed, as the board, if the Board of Selectmen had been wanting us to streamline this,
Mhm.
would you prefer that we err on the side of like, I guess it's just a stylistic difference, like listing everything or doing broad umbrella statements like I had done in terms of getting this approved? Which way would you guide us?
I don't think it's a bad statement at all. I think it's a good statement.
Oh no, I'm just asking like with the whole job description, not saying like either's better. I'm just wondering what direction we should be going. Like it's
I think what I found, and you may have realized this too, is that like we just said, there's duplicates in different areas of it. So
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we don't, like, I think that may be covered in some other things where they're responsible for this and that. So do we choose, like what you were just saying, do we choose these other things? I don't know. I can't even come up with one off the top of my head here.
Well, no, like saying, yeah, I guess I was just wondering if our original job description hadn't been approved before. Like, should we do that? But I also wasn't there for that feedback. Like it kind of predates me. I was just wondering if Ed had guidance on if we should be listing individual or doing a broad statement.
Ed?
Unfortunately, I think they're looking for a little bit of both.
Okay.
So
I would
I think with what we've got in here now, it looks pretty good, but I don't think they want something that's 5 pages long.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I did that one. Collects and submits revenue to the town treasurer for park and rec programs. It's different. What did I put?
I had that too. It's just a different order.
Okay. Attends all regular and special commission meetings and communicates regularly with the selectmen, the town treasurer, and other officers and board members. Prepares with the commission chairman a meeting agenda and all supporting materials to be sent with the let's see, what did I change here? Prepare with the commission chairman a meeting agenda to be sent. Oh, you have all supporting material. I just said it differently. To be sent to commission members with any other pertinent documents, including financial reports, not less than 3 business days before the next scheduled meeting. So the original and Julia say 1 week, but we've talked about that in our regular meetings just last month about, you know, having things to put on there and that was too much time. So I put in 3 business days. That would mean that the agenda goes out on Wednesday. That's getting off track here, but it would go out on Wednesday for Monday meeting. So 3, that's why I put business days.
Yeah, and if something came up that was needed immediate attention, we could always schedule a special meeting. So that's good. Yep, like it.
I like the way Julia sounds. Is Julia's line there sounds better.
Okay,
All supporting material to be sent to the commission to. Are you guys good with the 3-day thing?
I'm fine with that.
me too.
Fine.
When do you guys at the selectmen's level get yours at 3 days before?
No, we're usually, the agenda.
Yeah.
It varies because it changes lots of times. So we do new ones off 3 or 4 times sometimes.
Okay.
You know, I mean, sometimes it changes right up until the last day. So
Wow. Okay. All right.
Takes and records the minutes of Park and Rec Commission meetings, files meeting agendas and minutes with the town clerk, keeping copies of minutes and director's report, keep all records for 3 years. I think that's what mine says. I think I was confusing that with the programs that also says that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we should keep that in there or change the amount of years. I'll have to check on that.
The prior one didn't have anything about records for
long you
3
keep it
years
for?
other than program records for 3 years.
Is that something that needs to be mentioned at all, do you think?
I don't really think so, but
I mean, they shouldn't throw things away after a year, but
and
just
we
something-
have
tell them.
we have already that they're keeping copies of correspondence and stuff like that. So anyway, that I wouldn't think they'd be throwing stuff away.
I'm gonna take that line right out of there.
Okay.
I'm keeping in reports to the commission chairman and keep selectmen informed as necessary. Julia had removed that one.
Oh, did I? Shoot. Okay. I didn't think I did.
We are next. This is hard to do because we
Oh,
both
well, here's
change
what
things
I would-
around.
You know what? No, you know what I did? I only removed it because we had reports to Parks and Rec Commission already in the position summary. And then in communication, we were already saying that they need to like keep the lines of communication open with the Board of Selectmen in there. So I thought that was kind of,
Say that again in the position summary.
pardon me?
Where did you say it was?
It is under the position summary. It says reports to, and it already lists Parks and Rec Commission. And then in communication, we have,
I don't have that in position summary.
it was in the list that you sent to us, not in position summary, in between, like the next section says, in the copy you sent to us, you have position summaries, one line.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. So I didn't think that we needed to put that in essential job functions because it was already listed that they were reporting to them. And then in communication, I thought that that's maybe where it was more applicable.
Yeah, I see where. Have to do something with that. Okay, so we might want to move that. If we keep that part, we're going to move that to communication. All right, that'll be a question mark.
Okay.
Maintains and accounts for the expenditure of department funds in accordance with the budget appropriations and works with the commission in the preparation and of the Park and Rec Commission's annual budget. And I added, and the 5-year capital plan, that'll take out one line.
Yeah, that's good. That kind of combines 3 bullet points. That's good.
Yep. So then, John, your question serves on the Town of Kent Safety Committee. So I did reach out to the first selectman and asked her.
Yeah.
And I will tell you her reply. Yes, there's a safety committee under the BOS that creates a workplace safety plan and discusses workplace safety. The Park and Rec director is a member because there are a number of town places that they function in. If it's in relation to the job description, please keep it in.
Okay, because we do, well,
What are
we
you
used to do,
doing? I'm sorry, what?
well, what we used to do when I was up and around, we used to do it every week or month. We would inspect the playgrounds, so that was part of our job. Well, basically my job that I was doing there with somebody else, but
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, if it's our stuff, we should take care of it and let the town worry about the other things. I mean, like that culvert, for example, is a disaster. So
But maybe just having them serve on the safety committee keeps them in the loop on what the town's taking care of. And updating the town on what we're taking care of. Like maybe I don't understand what exactly the safety committee does, but
Ed,
Is that the emergency safety or the emergency?
no,
No.
Ed,
No, safety committee basically talks about what like airborne, bloodborne things are coming due and stuff around that maybe needs to be done. And I don't think they really do a whole heck of a lot, to be honest with you. But it's good to leave that person on there because they will be in the town hall, and I think that's where they meet. So if there's something coming up that everybody needs to know about, at least they'll be in the loop with
yeah.
it.
All right. Creates and distributes schedule for a sports team and individual sponsor photos. I feel weird putting like the picture thing in there. It just seems like such a strange.
I agree. It
Mission.
seems kind of unnecessary to.
It is, but it's something that's important though.
I thought that
Yeah.
it was something that could go. I had moved that down to.
I mean, you can put it wherever you want, but it should stay there in the job description at least.
Yeah, I thought that you could put it in one bullet point under personnel saying, oh, maybe I didn't have the photo in there, but identifying, coordinating, orienting, and overseeing volunteer coaches, providing coaches with necessary equipment for staple, coaching materials. I guess maybe I did take the photographer part out of that, but
well, we can add
Had
that.
it in somewhere.
That's a great spot for it. Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
spot for it.
And where? Because I have it on, what do we have it under? Administrative duties.
I put it under personnel.
Right.
It was, here, I'll send you in the chat what I had, and you can add it in under personnel and then take it out of the other. Hold on 1 second.
So do you want to put it, we're going to put it under, oh no, identifies, you move that down to programs. Right?
I had this part under personnel, identifies, coordinates, orients, and oversees volunteer coaches.
You took programs right out.
Yeah, I combined parts of programs with.
Okay.
Yeah, I had all of the program stuff under administrative and then personnel, I think.
So under personnel, so we want to add related coaching materials, including handbooks, schedules, team roster. I thought hires and pays ref and umps could go on that line too.
Yeah, I think either that line or it's separate, but that line would, that bullet point's good. Yeah.
Okay, so we have to add,
Oh, I did leave in, sorry, under administrative, creates and distributes schedule for sports team and
Yep.
individual photos and sponsor photos.
Under what? Sorry, what was that last one?
Here. I did leave this bullet in and then, because I thought creating the schedule was an administrative thing, including the team and individual photos, the schedule for the team and individual photos. So the
Oh, yeah,
first
you-
thing I put in the chat was I had under, and we don't have to do it how I had it, but I had that under personnel. And then the second thing I just pasted and put in was under administrative duties.
I'm fine with it under, the line under administrative creates and distributes schedule for sports team and
Yeah.
individual photos and sponsor photos. If we want to, I like the line, we can change where it goes.
Yep. Okay, great.
And where do you think that should go under? First. That's
No,
not
I
really,
thought that would be administrative, creating
Okay.
the schedule.
all
Yeah,
right, so it stays there.
yeah.
Um. And I had wrote, creates and distributes schedule for sports team and individual sponsor photos, distributes pictures to team coaches, players and sponsors, oversees and implements park and rec policy on awards.
Great.
Yep,
So that combined another line.
Yeah, perfect.
excellent.
That killed that one, okay. Works with Park and Rec Commission on appointments and reappointments to the commission, communicate. Then communicated in writing to the Board of Selectmen. Communicate in writing to the Board of Selectmen, the recommendation for appointments to the, you just shorten that.
Yeah.
Okay. Participates in accident investigations, no difference. Maintains membership in CRPA and attends conferences, same thing. Maintains records for 3 years. I had put that somewhere else. We can leave it as its own thing. I may have actually changed a few little things and then reprinted it.
Yeah, I don't see that in what you.
Am I on here? Okay, I think I took out the maintains records for 3 years because I put that with this other part, like I said before, but. Oh, so that is in there. Yeah, okay.
Under programs.
Yeah, we can get that line and take that out of there and keep. I've got 3 copies I'm working with here.
Can you juggle?
Okay. Back to where we are. I did put in or kept provides information and assistance to the public and other departments in a timely fashion. I don't know that's necessary. If we can maybe throw that in somewhere else or pull it all together. So I think you pulled it all together or put it somewhere else, Julia.
I think that I kind of folded it into what I said about communication.
Okay. Establishes and maintains effective working relationships with superiors, subordinates, associates, including, and you put Board of Selectmen in there on the first communication.
Yes.
So did that not also go back to the other part where it says to keep in touch with the Board of Selectmen or
That's
somewhere?
why I took out keep in touch with the Board of Selectmen because I had that in here.
Okay. Area recreation directors, volunteers, and the general public. Okay, maintains close communication with local schools, businesses, and other community organizations and agencies to coordinate cooperative programs and events. We're the same there. This one I was also questioning whether to put it somewhere else or remove it if it's kind of a duplicate. It presents a written monthly report of current and planned activities to the commission at its regular meeting. I kind of thought that went under the other section about promoting programs or develop new programs to present to the Park and Rec Commission for consideration. So that's,
I
I
left
thought-
it in there because I had gotten rid of the bullet points under programs and put them all
Okay.
in there.
writes and submits to the Board of Finance. Monitors and posts updates to the Kent Park and Recreation website and Facebook page. I combined a couple of the other ones and updates to the Kent Park and Recreation website, Facebook page, monthly town newsletter, and contributes to the senior newsletter.
Great.
Can I just ask why senior newsletter?
If we do the bus trips and stuff
We
before
won't
last,
be doing those anymore.
why?
I was told last night when I asked the question that the Park and Rec director will not be having anything to do with any senior programs whatsoever.
That is
Yeah,
incorrect.
that.
So we're gonna keep
Well,
that in.
That's what Leah said last night, and Gina agreed with her on it.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure how they can do that when it's in our stuff. So-
Because she presented a new budget for senior.
Oh,
And that is not what we
Programs last night.
discussed. That is
I
not
know.
what we discussed when we pulled all we pulled from the director was the meals, the Tuesday, Monday and Wednesday meals. It was talked about at that point that the director would be in charge of recreational activities, working with Leah on actual recreational activities, not the food service.
That's not what she said last night, so.
Well, I guess she should have discussed that with us first.
Well, it sounded pretty up, the way she sounded to me is that the Park and Rec director would not be involved with any senior activities or programs or bus trips, because I asked that, so.
I
Alright.
think as far as the newsletter goes and just working on this tonight, I would still include senior letter because stuff that we did like the rock painting contest. Like I feel like there are some activities that it would still be fun for the seniors to participate in and be aware of.
Okay,
That was at what meeting, Ed? Was that a selectmen's
last
meeting?
night's meeting, last night's selectmen's meeting.
Okay, I started watching it and
Yeah, it
well, I
was
don't even
long.
know if it's, no, I don't, that's not what I watched. You guys had another short one. I don't even think that's posted yet.
No, I don't think it is.
All right, got the annual report, we got newsletters. And get rid of that, get rid of that. Promotes Kent Park and Recreation activities to encourage and recognize community participation with timely press releases to the local media. No, the local media. I think that's what I was thinking. That other line, right? Provides information and assistance to the public and other departments in a timely fashion.
Yeah, yeah,
If it does that, with timely press releases.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. Carries and is available by cell phone during program hours. Maintains working relationship with the state police. Meets and coordinates on league rules and game changes with regional rec directors. That may be able to go in with something else.
I think that is fine there. Do we need to have maintains working relationship with the Parks and Rec Commission? Because I feel like it's already so clear that.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Okay.
John, Ed, opinions on that line? Maintains
They're
working
already
relationship
reporting
with
to the
Park and
Park.
Recreation Commission.
Yeah.
Meets and coordinates on league rules and game schedules with regional rec directors. We both left that in there.
Mhm.
Coordinates with Kent Center School officials on field use and maintenance. I put that in facilities. On the second one in facilities, collaborates with Kent Center School officials on building and playing field usage. And I just added and
Yeah, I
maintenance.
think that's good. Yeah.
And here's where we could, if we wanted to write something, maybe more detail reports to chairman and BOS, we'll have to think about that one. Gonna do anything with that now. On to facilities. I think the first one is the same, schedules and oversees the maintenance and repair of park and rec facilities, equipment, program inventories, and capital projects with commission approval where needed. And the second one I just read, collaborates on building and playing field
Yep.
usage and maintenance. Personnel. Please jump in if you have any questions or additions or changes, whatever. Recruits, interviews, trains and supervises paid and volunteer staff in accordance with the Town of Kent and Park and Recreation Commission policies and procedures.
Mhm.
Identifies, coordinates. Oh,
Yeah,
this,
that's what we just added in there. And then hiring and paying referees and umpires.
okay. I skipped down to develop job descriptions for position as necessary and presents the descriptions to the commission for approval.
Mhm.
Got that. Provides for staff evaluations at completion of a park and rec program and evaluates program directors. I can pretty much tell you that's never been done.
Yeah, you're right. Kind of sad.
And we can leave it in there. But it's never been done. Not saying it shouldn't be done. And I moved that down, the identify coordinates.
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had-
Okay. So we can just erase one of those.
We've had some lame duck lifeguards and some lame duck camp staff. So yeah,
Yeah, I
that's-
think we should leave it.
Yep,
Aim high.
exactly. You never know. Maybe you'll find a diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
I also took out articulates or writes when appropriate and requested references for employees and volunteers. That was in the original and Julia's. Is that necessary? Is that an obvious thing or?
I think it's pretty obvious. I still saw that in the one. When did you take it out? That was in the one that you sent to us. Or maybe you just took it out, but I'm fine with taking it out.
Yeah, I left it in there on my
Okay.
original one,
Yeah.
the one that I just sent to you guys.
I think we can take it out. I think it's pretty obvious. And if somebody requests it and they have a question about it, they can always ask one of us.
Any,
Do you want?
John or Ed?
Do you want to? I was going to say, do you want to add into before they can be coaches be appointed? They have to go through a process through the state police.
I think that would come up in an interview or at the hiring process.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. All right, no problem.
So what do you guys think about articulates or writes references for employees and volunteers. Is that necessary to have in there?
Yes, I do, because we've had some lame duck people that came back the next year and just hung out and didn't do anything. So yeah,
Sorry, no, that's different than staff evaluations though. This is like if somebody says, can you write me a reference?
For another
'Cause I'm
job?
applying for another job. Does that
Okay.
need to be listed in the job description that yes, you have to write those references?
What do you think, John?
I don't think so.
Ed, yeah, I think that's kind of a weird thing to have in there. I've never,
I think if the person wants to do it for the person, they can.
Totally, it's a personal decision, yeah.
Yeah,
right, not something in a job description.
no.
Yeah.
All right. And Julia took her programs and put them in other places. I kept the programs in.
Let's just go by line and see if we already have them, because we already have like the coordinates, supervises, and schedules somewhere else,
Sure.
right?
Well, I wrote coordinates, supervises, schedules, promotes park and rec programs and activities, including team pictures. That's where I put the team pictures in. And collecting fees and registration. So I got rid of a line or two. Develops new programs to present to the Park and Rec Commission for consideration. Creates, distributes, and collects program fees. That's the one I took out and I put it in number 1. Checks inventory and distributes equipment, uniforms, and first aid supplies. Maintains records for 3 years. I put something else in here about, you know what, I put it in this one.
I think we can take out the identifies, coordinates, and orients overseas coaches, right?
yes.
Because we already have that. But I do like the checks inventory and keeps equipment in proper working order. And the program's fees and stuff. That's good.
I wrote all over one and then fixed the changes on the computer and then printed out the clean one. So that's why I'm literally working with 3 or 4 here. So what did I do different? All right, so you guys want to take out the coordinates, supervise, scheduled, and promotes park and rec programs and activities, including collecting fees and registration, schedules, team pictures.
Yeah, because we already have that under administrative.
Agreed.
Develops new programs for consideration. That one, do we
That's
have
good.
that in there somewhere?
I don't think I had added it in somewhere new, but it's good to have.
I don't want the word develop though, because
It's like they're creating new ones themselves.
which, yeah, I mean, for the director to go and find new things to present to the commission.
Yeah.
How about search out?
Hmm.
Is that too vague? Search out?
I think that's the idea that we want. I don't know if that's
The wording is right?
yeah,
Okay.
like a more proper word.
Oh, what do you want me to do? The English version?
We could say identifies new programs.
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
All right. Creates, distributes, and collects program fees, registration, and waivers. Did we say that that's coming out? But we don't even need waivers. Waiver would be part of the registration, I would think, in my
Yeah.
eyes. And I changed this one that says check inventory, keeps equipment in proper working order. Because we've had problems with,
Yeah.
I was trying to cover the problems that we have to make sure that they're watching the equipment. And if we need new bats, we have to order new bats in time. And if we need new equipment or whatever, you know, we need to have that done in time. And that was a problem in the past.
How about at the end of how about at the end of the year that somebody does an inventory of everything so that,
Could we have that? Like, I feel like programs is going to seem light after all of this. Could we just move everything that we're leaving in programs or adding to it, like annual inventory of equipment? Could we just move all of that to administrative so that, because I feel like programs
Yeah,
is covered
That's
so
a
much
better
other
spot for
stuff
it.
that
Okay.
otherwise it'll just look like
Yep,
I don't
you're right.
know, random.
There either has to be enough or nothing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I didn't, yeah, that's why I was getting a little confused, like what exactly is administrative too big, but is there such a thing as too many?
I
Under
don't think
that.
an administrative like, I mean, a lot of this is an office job.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to be specific and say at the end of the year, fiscal year? I mean, at the end of
I
the
think
year.
it should be, I think when they're taught, it should be taught to do it after each season or before each season,
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That's,
before
So you
each
wanna
sports
add that
season.
in there? You want to add that in there?
I think that the timing that they do it is not as important as long as it's ready for the season. I think
Okay.
that, I don't think that specifically needs to be in there.
Okay,
If the person is a park and rec person, they're gonna know that that needs to be done.
right.
Mhm.
I think that is pretty much it on there, right?
Communication?
Didn't we already go through communication? Did I skip it?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn the page. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, again, maintain records for 3 years. We're good with that one on that programs, correct? Yeah.
We're gonna put it under administrative.
Okay, right. Cross that out. Sorry.
All right. So these are the qualifications are pretty much the ones that were on there from before. I don't think. The bachelor's degree, a relevant experience, good communication, administrative, organizational skills, first aid training, CPR. So Ed, when you were talking about the safety committee and the blood-borne pathogens, it made me
They're
think of
also,
mine.
there
that-
also should be involved with that also.
So the line, job qualifications are certified blood-borne pathogens trainer. Is that's gonna, if people see that on the job ad, is that gonna say, well, I don't have that, I can't do that job?
It's not that difficult to get though. I would say maybe if,
This says they're a trainer though.
or at the end of the trainer says, get it within 6 months after hire or something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
Because
covered
you're
under
gonna-
first aid? Ed, wouldn't
because
that be
you-
covered under first?
No, because if you're gonna be doing lifeguards and other things like that, if they're employed for so long, they're supposed to have their bloodborne certification.
So,
Okay.
so this says they need to be a trainer.
I don't know why they have to be. We can always hire somebody to come in and do that thing also.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Red Cross has programs.
Sometimes it's easier to come in and do a, like have Tim Limbos come in for the day and do a 4-hour bloodborne to all the new lifeguards or something. You're probably better off, but it's not bad if this person has it either though, because once you get it, you have it.
So we could take out the trainer part and write helpful. I mean, well, that's more for the ad,
Yeah,
that if you have that certification, it's helpful, but not a deal killer.
no, it's not a deal killer at all, I don't think. But it is good for that person to have it in case you all of a sudden get somebody and you need it to have it done.
But we have
What?
people in town that can give a class if
Yep.
we need it. Okay,
That's for sure. Yep.
okay.
Yeah, or if you know, if you run short staffing for those events. The Red Cross has got all these programs available to you, almost free of charge.
Well, it's also bloodborne pathogens also has a requirement of so many employees too. So,
Right. But we, as a member of the Red Cross, you know, we have all, we
Right.
have people under
Yep.
all this stuff.
Yep.
And I can
Right.
get you the people to come in if it's not possible to get somebody local. All right.
Okay. Okay, we got that part.
and you can even set it up, do it online. A lot of these things now.
Yeah. That's what we're doing now. Yeah.
We do the fire department's one online.
All right, so we got computer skills, knowledge of municipal budgeting, valid driver's license, and I added on there knowledge of small town municipal functions. One thing I was thinking is that this job is a little bit different as far as they may have to go to Emery Park and pull out a garter snake or frogs or something like that out of the brook. They may have to be playing in the water. They may have to be just doing things, you know, soup to nuts type ordeal.
And how about if we, after functions, we say, and if needed, director will help out.
Director will what?
Hang on a second. I lost my place. So you have now, you're talking about knowledge of small town municipal functions,
Mhm.
including but not limited to, let's say, helping out where needed.
In what capacity, John?
Well, whatever's needed. I mean, for example, if you come down with somebody that you needed for the after-school program.
You know, yeah, there's not really much in here about the after school program, and that may need to be mentioned because that could keep the person at work past 4 o'clock. Even though
Yes.
our original thing
Yeah.
says some evenings and weekends,
Right.
should we put a little ASP blurb in there?
I would. They have to know what's going on at all time, you know, before they get hired. So, yeah.
Julia, what's your position on that?
How late does after school stay?
5:30,
5:30?
as long as everybody's picked up on time, which 99% of the time is,
Yeah, I
happens?
would maybe say, I mean, we have that the director of after school reports into them, but I don't think, I mean, it's such a big part of the job that I think we could put something in there about it, maybe under
programs? No.
yes, let's have one bullet under programs. What about under personnel? We could say like solves any staffing issues for I'm
Goes
trying-
in on staffing issues.
something about like identifies and resolves any staffing shortages for after school program. And in that
yeah,
resolution, it could be them, you know?
you could add it to the top of that line of personnel where you say recruits and interviews. That would flow right into that.
Yeah.
Do you want that whole big thing of what she said on attached to that first line?
You know what we could do? We could say recruits, interviews, trains, and supervises paid and volunteer staff. And then at the end of it, where it says with Town of Kent Parks and Rec Commission and policies and procedures, we could say, comma, including after school program staff. Or including for the after school program. I just don't know that then highlights that you might have to fill in and stay if someone in the after school staff can't.
Is that something we just discussed in the interview?
No, I think you better have it written down as well.
I would think most definitely it should be mentioned at the interview too.
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
Yeah, you'll be required to stay until a replacement person shows up to relieve anyone who has an emergency, because it could be under emergency situation too.
yeah. That's why I would maybe put my whole long thing about like supervises and resolves and or kind of whatever it was, resolves any staffing issues for the after school program, or is responsible for resolving any staffing issues for the after school program.
Yeah, the last part sounds good.
responsible for resolving, oh,
No, just resolving.
identify and resolve staffing issues. It makes it sound like there are staffing issues.
Say what? I would then maybe we could say
Just resolves staffing issues when necessary.
yes.
Steps in.
Yeah, that's good. Not responsible, but resolves staffing issues when necessary.
Ensuring appropriate staffing levels for the anticipated uses of facilities or something like that.
That makes me think that if we're having Camp Kent, the director's not gonna fill in for the camp counselor, the camp director, or the head lifeguard. Only ASP is where they really be filling in.
Yeah. So why don't we just say ensures adequate staffing for the after school program?
There you go. Short and to the point.
Ensures adequate staffing for ASP.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing that I had put in that we hadn't covered that I wondered if it was just something, I mean, maybe it's too fluffy, but I thought that under under administrative, I had added works with the Parks and Recreation Commission to develop long-range plans for programs, parks, and facilities to accommodate town goals and recreation needs.
Oh, yes, I have that circled. I forgot to put that in.
Yeah, I thought of that just in thinking like about creating surveys about the pool and kind of ensuring that the playgrounds are up to par, and kind of being responsible for having the pulse of all of that for us and coordinating to make sure everyone's needs are met.
I like that line up in the position summary.
Yes, I was gonna just say that. You're
That's
right.
a great
Exactly.
idea.
That
Yeah.
sounds, it has a better flow up there than it does down
Agreed.
below.
Yeah.
So add that in addition to,
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it has a better flow.
all right. So we pretty much just got through all that, right? Physical
good to me.
conditions. I don't think either of us changed anything on there.
Yep.
Anything we want to add to that? Do we want to say can't be afraid of spiders and snakes?
Or
I think
mice,
that's something we could discuss in the interview.
Yeah.
or mice.
Yeah.
You can't be, what's the word, timid.
Yeah.
All right, good job. So I'll make those corrections to the best of my ability that I can remember here. Always have the video to go back through and check. And I will resend that out. Nice job, Julia.
Thank you. You too.
All right, so let's move on to discussion of and scoring of questions to be asked. So this morning, Miranda and I had an interview, and she had found some questions that Leslie had, and I thought a couple of them might be pertinent to this. And I don't know where that is. I didn't bring that out with me. I don't know if we're really here yet to be having to deal with these questions, but
That's kind of what I thought. I actually like I sat down a couple of times after doing the job description to come up with questions, and it was like my brain wasn't getting there yet with the individual ones until like I knew that we were all on the same page with the job description.
yeah. So I would say at our next meeting, we should be pretty much able to solidify the job description. And I think we're gonna have to have a special meeting for the commission to approve the hiring of a counselor.
Mhm.
So if I could get this done really quickly and get you guys to okay it to bring to the commission, we could put that on our special meeting agenda,
Great.
which I'm guessing that special meeting maybe at this point it would probably have to be Monday or Tuesday because school starts the following week. And it's kind of on the job training. It's not really something we can pre-train the person for.
Yeah.
So if we skip over that one, before we skip to go to the next thing, I actually just looked up, I just keep Googling things. and seems to have answers. But my sister has also done a lot of interviewing, and she had a couple questions like, name something that you're proud of that you've done work-wise. Those, I'll have those questions. I'll try to get some more and have those ready for the next meeting.
Yeah, but how do you score that?
I'm not a big on the scoring thing, John. I mean, I don't know that it has, you can score it how you like their answer. It's not really a scored answer. There's no wrong answer.
Right, exactly.
I mean, maybe we have a set of questions, like 5 or 6 questions that we score, but then we have more that are just about the person.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to ask everybody the same questions. Especially,
I think that's important to
some
not ask
people,
everyone the same or not feel like you have to.
right, because you're going to go in different avenues with your different interviewees, and you're going to want to ask different questions based on what they've already told you, based on their resume and their application, and it
And they
doesn't
might
always
have
work
different
that way.
ideas about what their future views of the park and rec are also.
Mhm.
Yeah. If we need to do scoring to come to consensus on hiring, then we can always just come up with a scale ourselves and each person submit on each candidate an overall score instead of going through the individual questions and scoring it.
If you guys could bring the questions that you had from the interim director, because I don't know what they were, so that would be helpful for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we could work off of that, if we decide to do a few where we score them and some where it's our own personal opinion of them. However, we
Well,
decide to do it.
Well, Julie and I added, what was it, 3, Julia, that we added of our own?
Yeah, and then there was one of them that I didn't even ask anybody because when I was going through the questions, like I think it was like, do you always need to know why you're asked to do something? And when I read it, I was like, that sounds like we're asking.
That's not right.
Okay.
That's one of the questions that was on there this morning, and it was cute because it was a young girl, and she's 17. But if you could be a piece of food, what would you be and why? It was
My
cute.
gosh.
So Miranda said that she would be, what did she say? Oh, eggplant, because then nobody would want to eat her. Nobody would want her. A pizza was thrown in there. Yeah, it was funny. All right. Anything to say on discussion of requirements of incoming director?
I think we went over that, right?
Yeah, pretty much with the job description. Oh, you know what? That's what I was looking at. Did you guys see this position description that I sent through?
From Southbury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
It's short. Very short.
It's short. It's 3 pages. Well, by the time it's printed out. Again, it's just something I thought a lot of it was pertinent to us because they're another small town.
Yeah, I thought that we had similar things to theirs.
Yeah. But this is not a job description. This is an actual ad that I found on Indeed.
Yeah. The only
Or-
thing that it was for a supervisor, so it was somebody who reports into the director of parks. and Rec.
Right. I mean, yeah, we're not gonna, some
Yeah.
things to change, but I thought a lot of the stuff was good to help us get started.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go through that and make notes and everything, because we need to get this done fairly quickly. I guess my question would be, maybe Ed, if once we get this job description and we bring it to the commission and they hopefully approve it, do we need to have it approved by the Board of Selectmen before we can start putting the ad out?
I don't think so. I think it's our commission and, or your commission, and I think you can do your own job description. But I think you may want to at least give Jean a copy of the job description ahead of time, because she will be the
Absolutely.
one that has all the, if it's good, if it's not good, if she wants to add 15 things. Just so she can browse it over. So that way you keep her in, like, we're adding her into the
Yep.
decision making. But no, I think it will be, it's the Park and Rec decision. I
Okay.
think the decision is if the selectmen agree who the person they're hiring, not so much as the job description.
Okay, you guys just have to approve it. It
Yep.
was actually Mr. Garrity that was really pushing for this, and he's not even gonna
Yep.
be there.
Right.
anymore. All right, any other discussion or questions on the requirements? Questions to be asked?
I found I think, Lynn, should I email you guys the copy of the questions?
Sure.
Okay, I think I just found it.
All right, discussion of the application process. I basically just kept everything on that was from the last meeting. And I did not ask Joyce if we should send them to her or not. We're not quite there yet, so it's not of timing importance. But I think it would be a good idea, I think we said this last time anyway, to either make up our own email to get them sent to, or have them sent to Joyce.
Yeah.
I think we should ask her first.
Yeah. I'm not gonna assume she's gonna do it. Just,
Right. No,
ask her,
because she's
yeah.
overwhelmed. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And last thing on here is set next meeting date. So I put this on here because Laura and Julia have asked for daytime meetings if possible. Ed, I know your schedule fluctuates, I believe.
Yeah.
And John has therapy 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. So I didn't know.
What
if
about
that-
weekends? Would weekends work for everybody?
Not about that idea. But I could.
Well, I don't think that weekends might be tough for me to know when exactly I would be available weekends. just
Exactly.
because of sports schedules and all that stuff changing. But I mean, I can make evenings work, but I was just throwing it out there just in case people did have some daytime free. Some weekdays free, then that would be easier for me, but I'm happy to try to make evenings work too.
Ed, does your schedule fluctuate or do you know what days you're
Yeah.
on night?
It changes every 2 weeks.
Okay.
The only problem is I'm getting bombarded with other meetings right now too, so that makes it
Daytime stuff or nighttime? They're usually nighttime.
both. You know, because I'm also on the Swift House Committee, and hopefully we'll be done with that. That's a Friday meeting, but we're talking next week. Next week I'm available in the afternoons, but I also mow for the estates in the afternoon. So if you can give me a heads up on when you'd like to schedule a meeting, I could tell you if it's good or not ahead of time, unless you're trying to schedule one today.
We could schedule one today. I was more just wanting all of us to be able to talk about, you know, your schedule and John's schedule and see if daytime meetings were workable.
And I have physical therapy 3 times a week, so.
And that
if you
takes you
work-
hours by the
Huh?
time you go there. By the time you go there and do everything, it seems like you're busy
Yeah.
for hours.
Do you know what days you don't have it? Is it a set schedule?
It changes every week.
Yeah,
That's the bad point.
yeah, sorry. My only like hang up with the evenings is that my husband's not here during the week anymore, so my kids just get into trouble while I'm doing this and try to figure out YouTube and stuff like that.
And give them a shot of whiskey before the meeting. No.
Yeah.
Um,
Being recorded, Lynn.
I know. So
Why don't you just put it out there to Lynn and see what happens? I mean, between Ed and my schedules are always changing, so.
we kind of have to stick with evening. That's still the best. That's working for everybody. More or less.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good for evenings. It's just when it changes all the time with physical therapy.
So if we could have a meeting next week, Julia, could you do Tuesday night? Ed, John, Tuesday night?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
Yeah.
And
Or it could even be maybe a 4 o'clock next Tuesday night or something.
is
Yeah, let
that
me
better
just-
or worse for you, Julia?
Wait 1 second.
That
Once-
is,
Okay,
Go ahead, John.
okay, I'll be available Tuesday in the afternoon after 4 o'clock. Yeah, great. That'd be perfect.
Tuesday at
4
4?
yeah, 4 o'clock would work for me.
Okay.
That's good for Ed, right, Ed?
He
Yeah,
suggested it.
hopefully.
Put it in there now. All right, I'm gonna try to get this this updated and get it out to you guys so we all have appropriate time. And maybe we can if we can get that done and we have a regular meeting Tuesday night at 7, we can present it then. And then hopefully, oh, you know what? Maybe we'll do the meeting Wednesday. Regular meeting Wednesday. So that everybody has at least 24 hours to look over the job description that we're gonna send to them.
Okay.
So they're not just seeing it the night of the meeting.
Yep.
All right. So Tuesday at 4 is our next meeting. Tuesday is, what are we on, 19, 20,
Tuesday is the 24th.
24?
Yep.
All right, good meeting. We got a bit accomplished, quite a bit accomplished. Anything else anyone has to say?
So we're gonna pick up on those other 2 questions, items.
What?
Are we gonna, at that special meeting, are we gonna discuss those other items for scoring and for application process, or?
at our next, on the Tuesday meeting.
Yeah,
I think we should just, we can make it short and just discuss the job description.
okay, all right, no problem.
And then once we can get that approved, like I said, I'll try to schedule the special meeting. I'll talk to Miranda tomorrow and hopefully schedule the special meeting for Wednesday night. So everybody has time to see it, and then we can start with the hiring process. At our next meeting, we'll have more, we'll talk more about the other things, the questions. We pretty much have the requirements down as far as the director's job description and go through this other position description. So I think we're on the right track. We just got to keep moving quickly like we are.
Yeah.
No doubt.
All right. Terrific. I will send out a new agenda. All right. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
To adjourn the meeting.
I'm sorry.
You need to adjourn the meeting at 8:16.
Yeah. During the meeting at 8:16. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay. Good night.